Nimmo, and this is my portfolio for the Masters of Educational Technology at Boise State University. Today I'm going to review the 5 AECT standards and highlight some of the indicators that show what I've learned in the 10 courses it took to complete this program. The intro that you saw, I created in EdTech 511, Interactive Courseware Development. I used the Bronco logo with particle effects in the Unity game engine to create that look. That's a difficult indicator to link to my artifacts because you have to download an exe. So I thought it'd be a great way to start out this video. Standard 1 is content knowledge. My first item I'd like to showcase is my virtual tour that I created, which allows students to go through and visit movie sets, studio tours, Stargate Studios with their key light effects, and then the Portland area if they wanted to be an extra. I created this for the EdTech 502 virtual tour, and I used it immediately in the classroom. The other project that I'm really proud of, I've always wanted to learn how to use After Effects, and I decided that I was going to jump in there and learn a whole bunch of things all at once. So I downloaded Camtasia and started recording videos on how to use After Effects. I did not know how to use After Effects, so I had to teach myself how to use After Effects and then go in and create the videos. After this, I made a playlist. There are 10 different videos, 8 of which I recorded and 2 that I found on YouTube to supplement the knowledge I wanted students to learn. And a playlist was a new item for me to create. And then I made a website so that I could give this to the students to go through in the order that made the most sense. So I gave kind of an overview on the homepage, and then we talked about the introduction, which Adobe programs do you use for what, and then how do you make type move. And then we jumped into how to create 3D type, how to go in and use the key light effect for 200 special effects in After Effects. So I gave students the choice, anything they wanted for their news segments so that they were unique, want cookie cutter results. And this is something that we used in our advanced video class for the news program, and we had amazing results. Standard 2 is content pedagogy. I'm going to highlight 2 of the big projects that I created for this standard. In the EdTech 511 Interactive Courseware Development, I created for my final project a 3-point lighting scenario. In this scenario, you start with the start screen. You then go into the information screen where you learn about the 3 different lights that are used in a 3-point lighting scenario. After reading about the different types of lights, you can go to place them in your scenario. And then you can check, and it says this is the teacher avatar saying nice job placing the 3 lights. There's a credits. This class allowed me to see a different way to use a game engine in an educational situation to make it a little more fun for the students to practice and learn how to use equipment before they go into the TV studio. For the EdTech 512 online courseware development class, we created a design document before we got started with our actual course design. We did a front-end analysis to think about what it is we were trying to solve. And then we went into a context analysis and a learner analysis. We wanted to know what are the relevant standards that we needed to address and what our overall goal was for the course. And created a prototype of what the site would look like and the colors that we would be using. We then got to choose the LMS that we wanted to, and I chose Canvas because I'd never used this before, and I was excited to try out a new learning management system. And then we go into the modules. In this, we talked about chunking our information and motivation for an online learner, what can help them to stay engaged, discussions throughout the course so that students could interact. Here's Module 1, the 3 phases of video production, where it goes through and talks about pre-production, production, post-production. This class gave me the confidence to create an entire class from scratch. So this class was very important to give me the confidence to go forward and create my own course. Standard 3, learning environments. Hi, welcome. I'm here to go into our next unit in class. We're going to learn Adobe After Effects and talk a little bit more about copyright, but I found a new way to do it. We're going to make some quests in the 3D Game Lab Bresley. We're going to come in here and we're going to advance through levels and we're going to shoot for the top as shooting stars. So I'd like to take you into this world and so we can explore it together. Let's go. Here we are, shooting stars. You're going to go through quests here. The different quests will be available to you depending on where you are in the flow of your quest. That was the intro to the video I created for EdTech 563 Quest-Based Learning. This is an exciting way to approach our learners. I got so excited about this idea of having a quest-based classroom that I ended up building roadmaps for all of my classes. Here's my roadmap for my game design class, Unity. And we have quests. We have a page on the roadmap where we go through the quests and what you would create in, say, it'd be like a module and what those individual quests would be. And then there's the reward list that you create, and then ranks on how people will go up in their different ranks. And then here's one for the graphic design class I created that I also teach with the reward list and the ranks. And I did this as well for my video production class. And then I had to create the level points. I went through and decided how many points the different quests would be worth and at what point value you would advance in rank. This takes a lot of thought before you start designing your quests so that you can make sure that it all works well together. I'm excited to roll this out in the fall with my classroom and see how they enjoy having the ability to make choices as they explore the different quests and see how the awards motivate them. Standard 4, Professional Knowledge and Skills. There are a number of indicators that I'm going to highlight to show this standard. In my first course here, Introduction to Educational Technology, I was challenged to work with the peer group to create a presentation. My teammates and I chose to use Google Documents to organize our thoughts, and then we used Google Hangouts with video sharing to get together and cement our ideas. We had the task to come up with some solutions on how to address the digital divide. My team worked really well together, and we came up with some great solutions, and it was a very positive experience. And I learned how to use many Google tools I had not used previously, as well as how to collaborate on a Prezi document. The next artifact I'd like to highlight is the online class survey that I created for my Intro to Video Production online course. 5 peers answered questions from the Google Forms survey that I created. The answers that they provided on the survey helped me to create a better course by giving me feedback. I plan on implementing a version of this online course in the fall as a blended course. My subject matter expert for this video remix project was very helpful to make sure that I had addressed all of the necessary information I needed. Feedback was given on my project flowchart to make sure that it made sense on the progression through the project. The subject matter expert I used had 25 years experience teaching video production, and I sent the survey evaluation to him to review. Any changes, additions he thought I should make, etc. And then I wrote a report on the information that he gave me from that feedback. The rubric I created for this project was also reviewed by several of my peers in the district to give me feedback to make sure all the elements were covered that were necessary. After creating this project, I then made an instructor's guide that I could send out to my peers in the district so that they could also add this project into their class as well. The portfolio that I created with the AECT standards and the hyperlinked text also shows that I can design, develop, implement, and evaluate technology-rich learning environments within a supportive community of practice. The last standard, Standard 5, covers research. A lot of the research I did in my classes inspired me to create projects and other courses. I will highlight some of the theories that I learned and methods that I gained for this standard. The annotated bibliography that I wrote covered many different topics that I found in peer-reviewed articles. One that was quite fascinating was gestures as simulated action theory. I had never considered how much research needed to be done to help figure out how touchscreen and congruent gestures together would give the best learning. I was also reinforced with how I teach in my classroom
with the constructivism theory that has existed for over 100 years, finding out that the motto learning by doing is something that I actively use in my classroom with technology and as a career and technical educator. And here are my references on this paper. The next thing I'd like to showcase is I created a 5.5-minute explanation of the Likert scale. I did this as an extended project for my 505 class. Rennes Likert was the founder that he developed this scale for his PhD thesis in 1932. This is still the most used scale for research. This is considered bipolar scaling method. So that led me into my evaluation using the quantitative and qualitative data that I gathered using the Likert scale. I created 15 different surveys. First of all, I started with the pre-survey to talk about whether or not students were interested in the project. I highlighted the areas in a light green to show the agree and in the light red to show disagree and what the different questions were. I also had the students evaluate the 4 projects, and then at the end we did a post-survey to find out if students felt they were now able to hit the learning objectives. And here you can see the pre-survey results. I can use After Effects well to the post-survey results, whether or not they felt they had increased their knowledge. Having gone through this process, I now feel really comfortable going through and creating surveys, and I understand how valuable they will be as I work on any project in any of my classes.
Thank you for watching as I reviewed the 5 standards and what I learned throughout my 10 courses here at Boise State University. I encourage anyone who's interested in educational technology to check out the courses here at Boise State.